You don't want, you know. I've been hearing that all morning for this collective. You don't want, you know. It's not a desire that you have simply because you want it. You know you are destined to have it. You know you deserve to have it. And you know that you're going to accomplish receiving it within this lifetime. And so it's that knowing that actually is causing you to want it so badly. The reason it is a desire in the first place is because you know you're meant to have it. And I feel like part of this message too is to get out of the energy of wanting that next thing, wanting this blessing, because it gives this energetic kind of like reach out, like you're trying to grasp something that's out of reach when you're in this wanting energy, okay? Switch into knowing it's meant for you, knowing it's going to come in due time, in divine time, knowing you already have it, knowing that there is a version of you that is receiving that is surrounded by that abundance, by that goal, by that accomplishment, by that blessing. You already have it is really the energy that I feel like you're being asked to step into. And I know it is so hard to be in that energy when you're not seeing it right now, but as much as possible, try to remind yourself to switch out of the wanting, okay? Because the wanting gives off this feeling of like desperation. And then in that energy, you start settling for less. In that energy, you start doubting yourself, okay? Knowing that it's yours is going to switch your energy into receiving it with much more ease, okay? And I split the deck too to the Sun and Ace of Pentacles, and I just feel like this ties in so perfectly because when it comes in, because it is coming in, it's not only going to make you feel so happy and fulfilled because it's a beautiful, amazing blessing that you can touch, feel, and see. It's going to make you so abundantly happy because it's almost like so life affirming because you've had this knowing. And you're going to, I'm literally feeling you say like, finally, or like, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. And when it comes in, it's just going to be so affirming, so blissful, this energy that you're stepping into through whatever is being offered to you, through the manifestation that you are set to receive, okay? And a lot of the times too, we often know before we even create the desire to want it. There's usually like a voice in our head that is saying that you want it, but so often our ego gets in the way. We start talking ourselves out of it, because of certain redirections or rejections that we experience along our path to accomplishing it. We're like, oh, okay, I guess maybe that's not what I want, or maybe I shouldn't want that. Okay, so there's something about like returning to that knowing. And I was being given the example of like, I remember when I first ever came across like a tarot video. This was probably definitely pre-COVID. I remember having like an initial thought of, I feel like I could do that. And then for years, I just put it off and I just was like, I don't know, maybe, I played around with it here and there, but never really took that dive until, more recently over the past year or so. But again, there's like a knowing that you receive before you even take action towards it, before you even decide to have that desire around it, okay? Let's get more information though. Judgment. What else? Okay. Judgment, 5 of Swords, Knight of Wands, the Hanged One, and 10 of Swords. Everything is fine. It says, okay, 7 of Wands. So you're tired. I get it. It hasn't happened yet. You're starting to lose hope. You're starting to lose faith. You're like, if I'm supposed to have it, why haven't I had it yet? Why hasn't it been received yet? Okay. But trust, this is the time where you have to surrender and lean into faith, lean into the hope and the knowing. Again, the knowing. When we can like exit out of our 3-dimensional timelines that we create to say, if I don't receive it by this time, then I guess it's not going to happen. Okay, when you can remove yourself from that, you'll recognize that there are seeds that are being planted. There are necessary experiences. There are necessary challenges even that you have to experience in order to actually embody and rise your energy up to receive the thing that you want. And so I feel like, yes, it's been a challenging journey. Yes, it's been hurtful. You've been betrayed. You've had to walk away from a lot of battles. You've had to walk away from a lot of people and situations that were not serving your path. And at times it felt very painful. Oftentimes it felt very painful, okay? But there is a purpose for this, okay? In this waiting period, before everything finally comes together, before the divine finally steps in and gives you your guaranteed blessing, there is something that is being enlightened towards you. You are receiving downloads, information, okay? And this could even be so much as with the 7 of Wands on the bottom, it's like so much as like testing you and stretching you to double down and say, yes, I know that this is mine. I don't care what my surroundings are telling me. I don't care that I got rejected by this certain situation. I don't care that I got rejected by this certain person. I know, regardless of what's showing in my reality. And so apparently it just wasn't that. Okay, that's like the energy that your guides are really trying to get you to fall into so that you can start boosting forward into this new reality. Start planning for a new future, a future that is going to be so different than what you've been experiencing up until this point. Because once you receive that blessing, again, starting off with the Ace of Pentacles and the Sun, when it finally comes to fruition, everything's going to change. You're going to expand. You're going to move into new spaces. You are leaving behind spaces. There's a massive ending to pain, disappointment, okay, heartbreak. And I just feel like this is the energy that you're in right now. So I am sending you love. I know it's not easy. Trust me. I am right there with you sometimes, okay? And there are plenty of times where I even come across readings like this and I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear myself sometimes, okay? Because our ego, again, the human mind, our human reality, we're like, why are you telling me all this stuff if it's not going to happen right now? Okay, it's that impatience that really ends up making the journey a lot more painful than it really has to be. Because again, if you trust and you surrender to divine timing and you continue to move in an aligned way, of course your blessing, your desire is going to make its way to you one way or another, okay? What else do they need to know? Yeah, Six of Pentacles, we have the World and the Queen of Swords. You're going to be gifted this, okay? This is a gift that is destined. It's already sent to you. You've already placed your order. It's on its way, okay? And you keep checking the tracking, being like, is it here yet? When's it coming? Oh, it got delayed. Okay, it was supposed to come here last week. Why isn't it here yet? And all that worry, all that stress is actually pushing it out further. And I just feel like you're being reminded here that it's going to come. It is destined to come. You're going to be gifted this. You're going to fall into that reciprocity again. The energy that you're emanating is going to be reflected back to you. So this desire that you have, this thing that you want, whether it's a job, a love, a relationship, a home, a blessing, you know, an expansion to your family, whatever it is, you're going to receive it and it's going to feel so good because it's finally something that is reflecting back to you, everything that you've been closing out, okay? So you're in the midst of still closing out certain chapters, still closing out certain, even like mentalities that you have around this, okay? And through this, you are gaining so much truth and understanding of yourself and your journey. And that is such a pivotal thing that you need in order to bring with you for this next chapter. As things are closing out, okay? These cycles are closing, these chapters are closing, your whole life is changing. What you've learned though, up until receiving your blessing, was who you needed to be. It literally is creating who you need to be in order to receive it, in order for you to hold it too, okay? And I feel like there's so much value in recognizing that, yes, it's been painful. Yes, it's been challenging. You are going to be a walking, living testimony. I just had this conversation last night. I feel like everything that I've been through in my life, the reason I have such a variety of like trauma and experiences, I recognize as being a gift, because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be doing this, okay? We wouldn't be here, you know, sitting here. I wouldn't be giving you this guidance. I wouldn't have any lived experience to provide to anybody when it comes to this passion and this drive that I have, okay? So take it as it resonates for your journey, but those challenges, the things that you're learning, the things that you're uncovering throughout the pain, throughout the wait, throughout the journey are going to be necessary tools for this chapter that you're stepping into. You are becoming the version of yourself that has always known that you deserve it, okay? But you just had to get through a couple challenges. You had to go through a little bit of, you know, training. You had to go through certain things that were, again, morphing you, forming you, okay? But it's destined for you, okay? Get out of the wanting, get into the knowing. You don't want, you know, and it's happening. It's going to happen, and when it does, it's going to feel so good because this is what you've been working towards. This is what you have wanted because you know, okay? I love you.